Aha, coconut controversy, coconut scandal, ise miyaki fusion they say. Now, actually, what happened was that one of the followers of my videos commented and requested that I review Fusion Louise Extreme, which apparently this person likes. Then I suddenly remembered, hey, I have this original Fusion Louise, which I've tested and then I've kept it in the KIV list to do a video later. And I told myself that okay, now it's time. If I can't give him or her a proper extreme version review, at the least I can do is review the original Fusion to say. All right. Now this one was launched in the year 2020 under the nose of Natalie Lawson, and the notes are fig nectar, lemon, and coconut milk at the top, made of cardamom, geranium, rosemary, sandalwood, a base of patchouli, woody notes, and ambroxan. So, what to say about this? This seems to divide opinions. People start throwing out a lot of other perfume names when they mention about this. You name it, Calvin Klein Obsession Night, Tom Ford Orchid, I believe is another one people mention. Quite a few names being thrown about, and of course the perpetual comparison to suntan lotions which have the coconut smell on it and all that. So what's the conclusion with this? Well, you see, almost every brand got on the blue wave. Okay, after Chanel's Blue de Chanel, everybody had to sort of have a blue in their portfolio. So Issey Miyake under Natalie Lawson's nose decided to plunge in as well. And actually, who else was involved? Well, actually, what I mean, who else is involved with that? I seem to recall another lady. What's her name? Daniela Andrea, I think, of Prada Luna Rosa line fame, who has this issue of that whole line being very similar to other famous perfumes. So the same comes here, you see, because of the ambroxan. Everybody also have the Dior in the back of their mind, right? Because the Dior Sauvage is like the standard bearer of ambroxan trend, right? So that's another major shadow looming over this fusion, they say. Okay, so what twist Natalie Lawson gave is that she sort of threw in some coconuts into the mix. Okay, yeah, man, coconuts. So now that sort of complicates the questions here. If I want to use this for more formal situations, if I want to give off that vibe of someone in a navy blue suit driving a BMW and arriving at a skyscraper, steel-clad skyscraper, that whole metal office left brain vibe, Dior Sauvage kind of works in that scenario. It still has a fresh, formal vibe, young executive vibe. But when you throw coconut into it, now that sort of muddles the picture, if you get what I mean. Because people associate coconut with more tropical, casual, this kind of feeling, leisurely mood and all that. That's one. Second thing about coconut is that it's got a spectrum of interpretation in different cultures. Certain plants and fruits overall, I guess, convey similar moods in any part of the world you go to. For example, citrus is usually you'll find in any kind of pleasant, nice smelling. This one, citrus is always like everybody is sort of clear about citrus, but products like coconut, I'll try to go more deeper. I mean, whether the smell excites you or feels like a bland smell to you or positively repels you depends a lot on your culture, background, and your past experience with the smell as well, right? Let's say you had a disciplinary teacher who used to wallop you when you're in school or whatever, or used to scare you and he wore certain perfume. Okay, let's say he wore, I don't know, what's a popular perfume. Let's say he wore Dracanoa, right, for example. Then you might have a negative association with that. So a coconut, in the more eastern parts of the world, more oriental areas, you have these sometimes village folk or a bit more traditional people, the kind of a bit more not so sophisticated people might wear it a lot. Okay, and people view that as, the hair being very oily, especially in a hot tropical environment, so it always had a bit of a non-sophisticated kind of reputation. And especially in the heat, the coconut oil, it undergoes some chemical changes, and then it creates this smell which is not exactly the best. So it's more of a nerdy image and traditional image, right? But however, over time, people suddenly are going back to coconut oil because they say actually it's very healthy for your hair. So many things that the so-called young generation think of as like very traditional or outdated, or even wrong kind of practices by grandparents and whatnot. Over time you suddenly realize, oh yeah, actually it's true. But it takes some kind of, sometimes they need that validation from certain authorities. Maybe a German journal publishes something saying that, oh, this particular herb used in the island of Java is good. Then suddenly they are all like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it. And then suddenly some Western cafe, say Starbucks or whoever it is, right, Gloria Jeans and all, they put it in their coffee, and now it's like, whoa, this herbal coffee, I'm gonna pay so much US dollars and drink it. So you see how much sometimes our bias of our mind affects our decision making, right? So oftentimes it's true that many traditional things can be good. So although sorry, I'm diverting into coconut, but I think it's something worth talking about a bit, because I myself, as somebody who's more relatively educated and so on, used to have that notion, like, oh, okay, this is it, this is right, that is wrong. You thought you knew so much, only to realize over time that actually things are more nuanced than what you think they are. And you people who just go to universities and watch your Western typical media and so on, you think that is the world, that's how the world is. And anybody who obviously don't follow what that narrative is probably stupid, or illiterate, or whatever it is. But once you start living life itself, and once you're in the front line facing the hazards of life, then you realize, oh my god, what I thought was vulnerable victim that the mainstream constantly pumps me up with, it's not necessarily the truth. But if I were to honestly say, hey, I'm seeing this pattern, man, this is existing, right? Let's say, for example, you live how to put it, you read something in the school, or your friends tell you something about certain people. Say, let's say Japanese people, they tell you something, Japanese people are A, B, C, and D. And then let's say you go and actually live in a Japanese village, right? And then suddenly you're like, hey, this is not like what they said, man. So it might be both positive or negative, okay, regarding a community or people or whatever. So whatever mainstream media pumps out certain trendy things, it's more nuanced than that. It's not like a simple thing that they make out to be. For example, let's say they say, all workers are being victimized by these ugly, evil Darth Vader type CEOs like Elon Musk and all that. But when you look deeper and deeper and deeper, you find that a lot of times workers do a lot of bad things as well. They tend to steal things from the factory, sabotage is done, and all kind of bad things are also being done. But it's not like they're innocent angels, But the media might push one sided narrative. It's very rare for you to say that, but that the CEOs might have done some good things as well, provide a stable job, take care of their welfare, provide free healthcare. There are a lot of people who do that too, But the people don't like. They already have a worldview. This is good. Workers are good. Bosses are bad. Full stop. So for you to try to say otherwise, you're going to be vilified. You're going to get cancelled, and so on. They say, oh, your mindset is in the 1920s, where the rich landlords were the gods and the others are slaves. They go like that. Same about religion versus non-religion. Okay, everything is fine. But it's just that again, based on the mainstream trend of the day, if you were to voice out anything that you honestly expose in life directly, people are gonna again attack you. So it becomes kind of how to say kind of a challenge for you to be honestly sharing. So what you do ultimately is that you decide, okay, if I'm gonna say this word out against a certain community or certain group of people, they're gonna start attacking me. Like let's say workers, I cannot say like, hey, the statistics show, or what I see in my factory, got 50% of workers who are stealing from the factory, who are sabotaging the machines, who are doing this. You can't say that because they will cancel you, right? It's not about truth or false. They will cancel you. Or same thing, what are the other popular things? Like say, women are always victim. What about women who they themselves try to harass men due to various reasons? Would that come in the headlines? Let's say you borrowed a girl some money, right? And then you go on a bus and then you tell the girl, why don't you give me back my money? And then the girl suddenly decides to exit the situation by shouting, oh, this guy is harassing me. The crowd is gonna whack the crap out of you. Do you think that the crowd is gonna say, oh wait, let me investigate first what happened here? No, nobody's gonna ask anything. They're gonna just jump on you and beat the living crap out of you. Okay, and here you are, borrow somebody money and get beaten up, right? But let's say vice versa, a girl genuinely harasses you in a bus or something. This girl's been like what's the word for it, I forgot the term, uh, kind of chasing you around. It happens, some crazy girl, always loitering around, following you and all that. I forgot the term for it, but there's a nice term for it. And then let's say in a bus she follows you, and then you are like, help, this person is like disturbing me. Everybody will laugh at you. Nobody will even bat an eyelid. Okay, but that's the reality. That's the way the world. That's the mainstream narrative, right? If any rape happens, it'll be a big uh, big headline, and a lot of sympathy for the victim and all. But if any guy gets harassed or something bad happens to him, it's no, it's silence. So we don't deny that workers are being harassed. We don't deny that some women are being unfairly treated. Definitely they need to be taken care of. But what happens is that people go to shortcuts, and people are so pumped up by mainstream media that they are unable to form correct judgments. Okay, and the recent Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial at least slowly is changing this kind of mainstream tropes or stereotype of the man always being the villain and woman always the victim. Both are human beings, so humans are capable of evil. So just because they are traditionally deemed to be victims or aggressors, it's not right to simply take a shortcut and put a blame and so on. Luckily, in this situation, some video and so on was there to sort of bring more light to the situation. Okay, but anyway, we live in such times in the world. This was a long diversion from what I meant to review, guys. Really sorry. Maybe I'll put the title there, not a review, not a perfume review. Okay. But then again, so coming back to coconut, so you see how this kind of biases that we see in our life, right? How we automatically assume someone is a victim or someone is an aggressor, and all based on our biases, which some bad people use against us in life. Religious people, all these things apply to objects as well. So if you associate coconuts with, your experience is that all some kind of people without much taste, or people who are careless or whatever, slouchy people. That's what you experience wearing coconut products and all, and that smell is associated with that. Then you won't associate someone wearing that coming to the office with someone who's professional and forward looking. Okay, that's it. The coconut isn't at fault. It's just your own experience with it. There are a lot of people who wear coconut oil who are very, very educated, very, they realize the nutritious value of it for the hair and everything. And actually they've reformulated some of the places where they usually wear coconut oil. They've now given a twist of some hello citrus, right? Citrus and so on, to give it the modern, to sort of conform to the so-called expectations of the public, who might associate certain fruits with more upbeat or kind of modern view. Okay, So there you go. Okay, and then we go about all these, whitewashing, blackwashing, yellow washing, and then you see in woke culture movies and all that. Again, same thing. Sometimes people do all these kind of funny things. So I see more of European and all, they associate coconut more with the kind of holiday, casual vibe and all that. They don't have any kind of preconceived notions of it. But in areas of South Asia, Southeast Asia, you might see more of a more divided opinion about the feelings. So it's coconut. Coconut is also used in a lot of traditional rituals, and it's also considered like it also has that spiritual element and all that. So it's a very complex thing. Okay, but to boil it down to a very simple thing, I'm slowly coming back to the main highway now of the review. So coming back to the thing, let's say you are like a modern urban city dweller who's like maybe more in Europe, or let's talk about this kind of group of people, or even in the eastern places where you're living in a city and so on. So yeah, if this kind of send mixed signals, because putting in a coconut give it a casual vibe. So if you want to go evening out or whatever with friends, go to the beach, yes, the coconut is there. Then suddenly the ambroxan comes in, and it's a bit like then you're like, okay, it's like, yeah, it's like neither here nor there. And then if you want to wear it for work, I already told you it's got a bit of that problem there. So where do I put this? Where do I use this perfume? I honestly don't know. I just think that if you really like it, you like coconut and you like ambroxan, and voila, somebody put both together in one bottle, then you're like, wow, this my dream come true. Then fine, by all means, rock it. But otherwise, I I I I find it difficult to sort of say much on it. I did review another coconut based perfume before, Versace Crystal Noir female, female perfume. It's called Crystal Noir by Versace, sorry. So that again had a dose of coconut, and again I was a bit feeling conflicted, but I thought it was a creative effort, and coconut is not the most commonest ingredient in perfumes anyway. They are around, but not the most commonest, I would say. So it turned out that was for those who want some interesting combos, that's great. So now that I've given you guys a much heavier dose of coconut, going into sociology, politics, and social tropes and all that. Who knew coconut could lead to so much, right? Coconut, we thought, is always fun and juice and maybe even monkeys and that kind of stuff, right? But it's got a lot of things going on. Coconut is cool, man. So yeah. I see this being worn by, I don't know, maybe the cookie guy at the office, the guy who the cyclist who delivers mail rapidly, and the delivery driver, the guy who wears the Hawaiian shirts or whatever. I see that kind of people. Maybe they can rock this. It's kind of like that kind of that kind of a bit people who don't want to fit into norms, right? Yeah, they would sort of do well, because those who come near you will be like a bit confused, like, wait, what is this? So yeah, it might work in that context. But otherwise, in terms of projection, longevity, all longevity not bad, but projection is quite muted to me, at least. And I believe if I get a chance to do the extreme version, my friend who requested for it through the YouTube comments, okay guy, you brother, I will see if I can get one, and then I'll try to review it, but no guarantees. Yeah, so this is the least I can do for you. Do an extra long review with this is I think I have already crossed 18 minutes by now. I think because someone requested, I've taken a really sweet long time to talk about this perfume, probably the longest so far that I've talked about the perfume. Okay, but it's cool that this perfume triggered so much of commentary, political, social commentary, and so on. But these are just thoughts. I don't necessarily belong to any particular camp. I'm always engaging and looking at various viewpoints, and sort of regurgitating, discussing, and debating with friends, buddies, to arrive at the truth, or the points closest to the truth. Okay, all right. So how much I would give this? Okay, how much? I don't know. You want a proper ambroxan, go for the Dior Sauvage, man. That's like, the proper one. You want a proper Issey Miyake, go for the Lao de Se Po Om, which is the 1994 Yuzu Bomb Classic. Those are like classic legend kind of stuff. I really don't know where to put this. I'll give this a 2 out of 5. But as I said, if you just love coconuts, you love Ambroxan, and they put these two in a bottle and like, then just rock it, man. I mean, because remember, ultimately, it's your nose, it's your life, it's your friends who you are with, right? So a person maybe in, let's say, I don't know which country, maybe in let me think, Nepal. Let's say you're in Nepal, right? The kind, maybe coconut has more of, like I told you, more of a village kind of a vibe and so on. Maybe, and your friends view it that way. Maybe you wouldn't want to rock it. But like, let's say you are in, I don't know, where Canada, for example, right, or something like that, and Texas, maybe Mexico, where coconut gives a more kind of a free-spirited, fun emotion, and maybe you are a very rigid. People say, "Hey, you're taking life too seriously, man." Then I think infusing some of this might give some of fun vibes to you, and people might be able to approach you more. Okay, but anyway, from my viewpoints, 2 out of 5. I respect all other people's views. As I said, if your ecosystem, your own love for the coconut note, and lifestyle sort of comes in the process of this product by ECA Make It, then by all means rock it, enjoy it. Fragrance community is all about love. So love you guys. Thanks for listening for so long. Take care, guys. Bye bye.